Hi guys, welcome back to this retro Manchester City save. This is Chris, aka Big Will, and today, instead of coming back for the consecutive home games against Charlton and Barnsley, we've had to change it around a bit because the Barnsley game got moved. So I've played the Charlton game off camera, and we're going to come back for two away games here against Grimsby, who are comfortably in 11th place mid-table at the moment, and then a game against Stoke, who are down near the bottom of the league. I'm thinking both of these games could be quite tough. Grimsby are hoping to secure that mid-table place, and Stoke obviously fighting for relegation down there, so we are going to have to be on point. Looking at our recent form since we were last with you here for the Bristol City and Huddersfield games, we were unfortunate against Norwich. We played really well in this game, but we just couldn't convert our chances. As you can see, we dominated in terms of the shots and shots on target, and we just couldn't quite find that winning setup during that game. But we managed a 1-0 win over West Brom, and then we've since won 2-1 against Oxford and Crystal Palace away from home, and then 3-1 in our last game at home to Charlton. And as you can see, Kyle Court has been outstanding in the games that he missed due to a slight injury. Obviously, he didn't feature at all, but he's been scoring whenever he's played practically. And in terms of his form in in the league, he's started 8 games for us and he's scored 9 goals. He's our top goal scoring striker, and he's only been here, of course, since the start of January. So for this away game against Grimsby, as we go into the match engine here, I'm hoping again that we can continue this good run of form. The lineup for this game is going to be Weaver in goal, Paul Robinson, Smith, Pearce and Delap at the back, with Brown and Francis in the central midfield, Bridge, Sibierski and Wright Phillips in behind Court. We have had some suffering in terms of injuries recently. As you can see down here, Clint Hill is still out after doing cruciate ligaments earlier in the season. Jamie Pollock is suspended. Scott Parker is injured again. Danny Murphy is suspended as well. Daniel Van Boyten is just about to come back from an injury, as is Roberto Mancini. I've been a bit disappointed with Mancini, to be fair. He came into the side as soon as we registered him. He got injured and he's not been able to feature ever since. And hopefully he might be part of the run-in toward the end of the season, but we'll have to wait and see how we get on. So with that starting 11, I'm hopeful that we can do okay today against Grimsby. And in 3 days' time in game, I think it is, we'll be playing the away game against Stoke as well. I will just run straight through for this episode once again, considering the games are in very close proximity. So hopefully we can continue our good run of form. With this in mind, of course, Kyle Court has certainly been dominating for us up front. Sibierski has grown into the side. He's managed to get a couple of goals for us. And with the way that we're doing, we are suffering a bit in terms of suspensions as well. It's that ball-winning midfield role that we've put in place. We have been getting some more bookings in there. Pollock was 2 yellow cards, and Danny Murphy didn't actually play in that role. He played in the other, but he got a straight red card in the last game against Charlton Athletic. Pollock actually got sent off against West Brom in the 11th minute. We managed a 1-0 win, and we scored, I think, late in the first half, and we managed to hold on from there. So it was a really good performance overall. And as you can see by the league table on the right hand side of the screen there, everything is really tight in those playoffs. And Sheffield United, even Birmingham and West Brom have got a chance really of getting into those playoff places. So we have to be on point in every single game. Here we have an opportunity for Grimsby. Donovan plays it in and it's just over the bar from Amsalam. Really good chance there for Grimsby. It's been a bit of a poor game from us so far. We've not had hardly any of the ball, which is really unusual for us. Sean Wright Phillips here with the corner. Looks to play it in. Darren Pearce is attacking it. It's headed away. Wayne Bridge manages to get onto it. If he makes a turn, which he's just about managed to get past Kerr, can he play it inside? He has. It's a brilliant cross, and Sibierski flashing a header just wide of the far post there. We are starting to grow into the game a little bit, but we do need more of the ball if we're going to get these chances. But this has been quite disappointing from us, considering Grimsby are in mid-table. But clearly, with the number of points they've got, they're not an easy team to beat. 58 points on the board for Grimsby, so we have got to be on point again. But as long as we don't lose, I think it'll be a good result. But we have got to really be winning our games at the moment, judged by how tight it is with the playoffs. We have got a game in hand, which is against Barnsley now at the end of the month. If we win that, we are within touching distance of Everton, but we have to win each game until that point to see how close we get. Of course, in our last two games of the season, we have games. One of the games is against Everton, so we've got to at least be within touching distance if we want to have a chance of that promotion. Well, going forward, we've been really poor. Sean Wright Phillips is going to come off. He's taken a knock, so Matt Haywood is going to come on. And I'm going to give Sean Goater the chance. Cal Court's not done anything so far today, so Sean Goater is going to come on for the rest of the game. Other than that, I don't think we need to make many changes. We have had some poor performances, but I'm hoping we can tighten things up and finish off well. As Rory Delap looks to get the ball in, and it's taken a deflection. It's out for a corner here. Sean Wright Phillips would have taken it, but he has gone off. And it remains 0-0. The fact that there's only been one shot on target is quite poor from our point of view as well. We're going to demand more as Grimsby look to get away out from their own penalty area with Atkinson. This is Roberts. It's well won by Paul Robinson. Haywood's won the header into Sibierski. He couldn't quite get a grip of it. Darren Purser's done really well there to win possession though, and finds Damien Francis. Rory Delap plays it long down this right hand side. Haywood is looking to get in. Kerr, the fullback, has passed it to his keeper, and Haywood almost challenged the goalkeeper there. Darren Purse with the header again. Damien Francis looking to get past Black, and he does well. Sibierski back to Darren Purse. Looks for support ahead, and Wayne Bridges at the far post here. Can he get a cross in? He's looking to try and work it here. He plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. It's Damien Francis to Michael Brown. Paul Robinson plays it into Antoine Sibierski. Back to Michael Brown, who strikes from distance, and it smashes against the crossbar and goes over. Really well worked move, but again, no shots on target in this game. Only two for Grimsby now, sorry, and the one for us. But they've dominated possession, and I think that's certainly told in this game. And it looks like the game might just fizzle out. I'm hoping that we can just get another chance right near the end here. Again, we're going to demand more just right near the end here. Hopefully we can just create something near the end. We have got a highlight right at the end here with Smith. And he only finds the defender Sodji, who plays it to goalkeeper Davison. It was a bit of a risky move there. We had players attacking, and Darren Purse finds Brown, and Francis looking over the top again. It's cleared away again by Sodji. Paul Robinson wins the header there, though, against Donovan. It's now Michael Brown. He has got support ahead of him if we can find it. Damien Francis again trying the ball over the top, but it didn't work. And Davison manages to clear. Darren Purse controls it well. Into Rory Delap now. Plays it inside to Michael Brown, who looks over the top, and Matt Haywood could be in behind here. He's got Sean Goater in support. What a save! Brilliant save right at the death there from the Grimsby goalkeeper. That could have been the chance. Does Calcourt score there? I think he might, but in the end, it's finished 0-0. Very disappointing result overall. We played okay, but we just didn't get a lot of the ball, and it was quite disappointing in the end. But still, it's not a defeat, and we are still in those playoff places. But with the game in hand over Everton now, even if we win that game in hand, we remain 7 points behind them. And I think with only 8 games to go for most of the teams, obviously for ourselves, we've got that extra game so we've got 9 games left against Barnsley, who are just above us on goal difference, of course. It's going to be a very tight end to the season, I think. Hopefully we will be able to secure the playoff places and still be in with a chance of that second place spot when it comes to those last 2 games of the season. The fact that we've got to play Everton could be a bonus, but it is going to be tough, I think, to get things done in terms of an automatic promotion. In terms of playoffs though, I feel quietly confident. I think we've got a good squad and we're working hard, and with the form that we're in at the moment, I think providing we can secure that playoff place, we should do okay. Well, next up we have Stoke City away. We're just going to have to wait a moment before we can get to that fixture. We'll just go through what's coming through in terms of the inbox and messages. But I think, yeah, it was difficult, that Grimsby game. Neither side really took advantage of anything, and it was quite a midfield battle by the looks of things. But this 4-2-3-1 I think certainly works for us with the players that we've got, and I've been quite happy with the progress, to be honest. The system in terms of the way we play is the same, it's just different positions that we've put in place. So as you can see, there's not exactly much time for training either before this Stoke game comes along. With the fact that they're near the bottom of the league, I am hoping we can compound their misery at the moment. But they have got one or two good players, and one of which we have looked to sign previously, but we ended up bringing in Kyle Court as a better option. And the striker that I was referring to is Crow, and he's a 20-year-old striker, English, and he's been in good form for Stoke this season, despite where they are. So hopefully he will have a bad game against us. Just taking a moment to run through to the game, so I do apologise for this. It's taken a little bit longer than I anticipated to get through this little section here. I would have thought we'd be able to get through this by now. I'm not entirely sure why it's taking so long, to be fair, but we'll have to just wait, and hopefully it will sort itself out in a minute or two. If you guys have any suggestions about how I can improve these videos, feel free to drop a comment down in the section underneath, and hopefully I will be able to respond to you in due course. And I'm quite happy to take criticism as well. If there's anything that you feel I need to improve, I will attempt to do so. For the time being, like I say, I'm only just a starter. I'm a beginner as such, really. So any support is greatly appreciated. Feel free to like and subscribe with the videos, and hopefully we will be able to develop this channel as we go along as well. Well, considering it's the day of rest here, Sunday the 17th of March in game seems to be taking a long time to load through, and I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. I'll just see if anything is going to be loading through at all. There we go, we've finally gone past it. I think there was a temporary issue there with the game, but it seems to have sorted itself out now as we look to progress into this away game against Stoke. Mancini has finally resumed full training. I doubt he'll be involved in this game, but going forward he may come into the side as a supportive option. He can play up front and in that attacking midfield role, so hopefully he will have a part to play. He's not a player I was looking at long term, of course. He's 35 now, and he's on quite big money for the level that we're at in terms of wages as well. So he may be a player that we look to move on at the end of the season, but we brought him in to do a job, and unfortunately he's missed out on that anyway because he's been injured. But with all the signings we've made in January, I think we've certainly improved, and we've got cover across the pitch. And I think if we'd have kept with John Gota up front, I think we'd have still been struggling, to be honest. He's not scored regularly at all for us this season, not like he did last season especially. And having brought Kyle Court in, the fact that he scored 9 goals in 9 games is excellent, really. And I think if it wasn't for that signing, I think we may have struggled, to be quite honest. So it looks like we're pretty much there nearly. Here we go. We're just about coming up for the Stoke City game now. It's going to be an important match, this, considering we drew that last game. But again, we're keeping clean sheets as well, on and off, and it's good to see. And Nicky Weaver's developing really well. And I can just see at the bottom of the screen there, it says sack looms over little with Manchester City up next. So the Stoke manager is under a lot of pressure for this game. So we're going to have to be very careful here, because he'll certainly have the squad fired up. So we've really got to be on point and try and come away with 3 points from this game at the Britannia. Right, here we go then. Let's have a look, see. So we've got Weaver in goal, Paul Robinson, Smith, Person, Delap at the back, Brown, Francis, Bridge, Shibierski, and Wright Phillips, and Court in the side. Quite a strong side. I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest. Hopefully this squad can bring the 3 points back to Main Road, and we can remain in the hunt for second place and establish ourselves in these playoff places. And Dean Crowe is actually playing up front for Stoke. There he is there. He's a very good player, and like I say, I've looked to sign him, but we have got better options at the club now, and I feel that if he did come to us, he'd be a bit part player, unfortunately. And we immediately have a highlight after a couple of minutes here. Rory Delap with a long throw into Michael Smith, who heads it on to Kyle Court, and the goalkeeper can't keep it out, and Court has put us in front. It's 1-0, 2 minutes in, really good start, and the famous Rory Delap throw in there, making a huge difference. And he's reverting to type as he did the whole of his career with these long throws. Really, really good start. Sean Wright Phillips with a free kick on this right hand side. Looks to the far post for Darren Pearce, and he's hit the side netting. It was almost 2-0 there. To be doing this so early on is very positive considering the struggles we had in the Grimsby game. 3 shots on target out of 4 in the opening 10 minutes. Can't argue with that at all. In possession, we've had a little bit more of as well, so we can have a bit more control of the game. So we're actually in 4th place at the moment as things stand, which is good to see. We're only 6 points ahead of Sheffield United though, and a further 2 points from Birmingham. We have got a game in hand though against Barnsley, like I say, so that will be an important game considering Barnsley are right behind us at the moment. So we're going to be really having to make sure we win every single game at the moment, just to have that chance of going up automatically, but it's going to be tough. Barnsley are actually behind against Crystal Palace at the moment. Sean Wright Phillips with the delivery. Damien Francis attacked it but couldn't get there. Michael Brown from distance, just over the crossbar, and he certainly had Tony Bullock in the Stoke City goal worried with that one. Paul Robinson into Michael Brown. He loses out to Dean Crowe, but he manages just about to slow their move down, but Dean Crowe tries to get behind Michael Smith there and is unable to do so. Weaver into Smith now, to Michael Brown. Paul Robinson looking for support on that left-hand side, and he finds it with a brilliant pass over the top to Wayne Bridge. Cuts it inside to Sibierski, just dropped back slightly there just to pick up a little bit of space. And Wayne Bridge is putting a lot of pressure on the defender, and he finds Cal Court in the centre. Brilliant pressuring from Wayne Bridge there. Absolutely fantastic from him. And Cal Court with his second of the game. And as the first half is going to come to a close, we're looking very good here for our lead, and it's 2-0. I did see that there was a little bit of concern for fitness there. We don't want any complacency in any game, so that is the first point of action. Sibierski is struggling for fitness. He did play that 90 minutes against Grimsby only a couple of days ago, so Paul Robinson's struggling as well. We are a little bit short for options at left back as well, I have found. I think Edgehill is the only other option we've got in there at the moment. It remains 2-0. There's not been any things of note happening so far. We're going to bring, I think we'll bring Jason Kumas on. He's not had a lot of game time, Kumas, recently. Craig Russell's going to come on, I think, for Wayne Bridge as well. On that left-hand side, again, he's not had much game time either. Mark Smith we're going to bring off for Jody Craddock, and Danny Mills we'll bring on at right back for Rory Delap. We'll leave the last substitution in case we get any injuries or suspensions. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But there's an opportunity here for Quinn. That's a brilliant challenge from Smith, and Pearce clears, and Cal Court is looking to get onto it, and Ryan Smith does well at the back for Stoke. Here's High, plays it out wide to Small. This is Morrison now, moving forward for Stoke. The changes, of course, haven't actually happened yet. The tiredness is starting to tell slightly. And this is Micah Hyde into Quinn. And Quinn shoots from distance, and that is a brilliant piece of goalkeeping from Weaver. There is an offside against Mullin there by the looks of things. Not entirely sure why. There was no interference with play, it seemed, but it continues to be 2-0, and we're looking good for these 3 points. Norwich are currently beating Oxford, which is a playoff potential, of course. Paul Robinson whips it in. Jody Craddock is looking to get onto that from the clearance. Michael Brown into Damien Francis. Has support ahead of him. Finds the left back Paul Robinson, who whips it across. And it's come out for Craig Russell maybe. No, it's cleared by Derek Geary. But Craddock again winning the header. Kumas into Russell. Cal Court. Kumas. Damien Francis. Cal Court scores. Bullock couldn't quite keep it out. And Cal Court has his first Manchester City hat-trick. Brilliant stuff. It's a perfect hat-trick. From what it's just said at the bottom of the screen there, with a right foot, left foot and headed goal. Brilliant stuff from Cal Court. and the victory is certainly secured from our point of view. Really happy with the performance as well, and we are heading back to Manchester with the 3 points here. Sean Wright-Phillips with a free kick, shoots from distance. It's swung wide, unfortunately, and it remains 3-0. So looking at the league table, we're still doing well in terms of fighting for those playoffs with 6 points clear of Sheffield United, as Stoke have a set piece here. Quinn back out wide to Hyde. Hyde just holding on to it, looking to play it in. This is Quinn, back to Smith. Sean Wright-Phillips is chasing it down, and Sean Wright-Phillips has one possession here. Can he run away with it? He's looking to do so, Wright-Phillips, and he's still got it, and I think Calcourt just got in his way slightly, and it checked the run, and unfortunately he's lost possession. Stoke trying to come forward. It's definitely too little too late from their point of view. Danny Mills has won it off one, but not the other there. This is Warhurst into Yates. Stoke looking over the top here, and Morrison is there, but Nicky Weaver. Oh, it's an error from Nicky Weaver, but Morrison puts it into the side netting. It was a tight angle. It's rare that we've seen errors like that from Nicky Weaver this season, to be fair. But the final whistle has gone. It's a 3-0 win here away at Stoke. A really solid performance. Calcourt certainly is going to be one of the signings of the season, I think, in the whole league, given the current run of form he's on. So as you can see from the league table there, we are 4th in the league at the moment, 6 points clear inside the playoffs. We remain 10 points behind Everton with a game in hand. But if Everton drop points in a couple of games in these last 7 matches and we beat them, we do have a chance. But it also depends on Norwich dropping points because we're currently behind them as well. So as discussed previously, what I'm planning on doing, I will play through until toward the end of the season, and we've got the tough games at home against Everton and away against Sheffield United. So hopefully by that point we will still be in with that chance of getting automatically promoted, and we will be fighting to see if we can get into the Premier League. So thank you very much guys for watching this video. The excitement is going to continue next time for those last couple of games of the season. I will see you then. This is Big Will signing away.